All right, we are live on YouTube, and tonight we're going to be discussing people with OCD on and off of YouTube. So stick around and find out more. That's coming right. Whoa! From Northern California, welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. And if this is your first time here, and most importantly, you are open to suggestions and change, please consider subscribing and then banging that bell. And after you bang that bell, when that pop-up box pops up, make sure you select all notifications, because that way you won't miss a single thing. You will not miss anything when it comes to getting a better grip on your life. And also make sure on your smartphone, your tablet, your iPhone, your Android, or anywhere that you have the YouTube app installed on, you must also make sure that the YouTube app is set to receive those notifications at a device level. You do all of that and you're set to go. You're set to go. Welcome to the show, everyone. Before we get started, I want to make sure that the notification has gone out. The notification has gone out, and I also want to make sure that everything is going well on the back end of things. Okay, just double checking real quick here. Everything looks pretty good. Let me see. Stream health is looking great, and the video is looking pretty good. Mutt, hey, welcome to the show. Mutt, sound check and video check. Let me know if things are rolling well. I did tweak a few little aspects behind the scenes on my setup through OBS, Open Broadcast Software. So I just want to make sure everything is running very smoothly. No problem. There are some people watching behind the scenes that do not want to chat. That's not a problem. That is completely understood. Thank you for continuing to be a part of the Coach Eli clan despite certain things that have been going on. I'm actually going to be talking about some of those things here tonight as a part of this topic. But before we get to that, sound and looks good, says Mutt. Let me just welcome Mutt to the chat here. Hey, Eli and everyone. Hey, Mutt. Oh, my God. Love the background. You know, where is that at, Mutt? Do you know where that's at? Can you guess where that is at? I will let you know in just a second. But before we get into the show, I have an update for you folks. Yesterday, I did mention that Mutt Nuts World's aunt and uncle were in a head-on collision the other day. And they were in the hospital. They've been in the hospital, and Mutt's been there for her family, with her family. I found out today through Mutt behind the scenes that her aunt was released and her uncle is doing well, but he has to stay in the hospital a little bit longer. Apparently, it looks like they are going to survive the accident, and I'm so happy to hear that, Mutt. My thoughts and prayers continue from myself and the entire Coach Eli clan, and you know, I wish your aunt and uncle a speedy recovery. It looks like your aunt's doing all right. She's been released, and your uncle needs to stay in a little bit longer with another minor complication. But I'm glad to hear that it was not as serious as it seemed to be. I mean, it's a serious thing. Anytime you're in an accident, especially head-on collision, you know, and you never know what's going to happen. But I'm wondering, Mutt, if you can let us know in the chat, what kind of car did your aunt and uncle have? Was it like a big truck or something, or a big SUV? It must have been one big truck, because getting hit head on in a smaller vehicle, you know, could have been worse. So I'm glad to hear that they're doing okay. Mutt says, I'm thinking maybe Colorado, not 100% sure on that, but it's beautiful. It's actually Yosemite. It is Yosemite National Park here in beautiful Northern California. Yosemite is about 2.5 hours or 3 hours east of where I live here in the San Francisco Bay Area. I've actually been to Yosemite. I went to Yosemite for 8th grade outdoor education, and it was a very, very fun trip. It is amazing. One of these days, I'd like to climb Half Dome, and I'd love to experience more of Yosemite. I just haven't had the chance to get back out there yet. Yeah, been rough few days, says Mutt. I understand. And she says SUV. That's actually a good thing that they had a big SUV, Mutt. And that's probably one of the main reasons why they're still alive. And I'm glad they're still alive, because if it was a smaller vehicle, you never know what could have happened. So I'm glad to hear that they're recovering and they're doing better. And once again, my thoughts and prayers from me directly to you and your family and your aunt and your uncle and everyone else here at the Coach Eli clan on from the Agrippa on Life channel, which is what I'm trying to say. All right, folks, tonight we're going to be discussing dealing with obsessive and compulsive people on YouTube and in real life. This show's not going to be too terribly long, probably about, I'd say about, 45 minutes to an hour max. And it's just going to be me sharing some of my experiences, particularly one experience with somebody out here on YouTube that has been obsessed with me and has been trolling me, harassing me, and stalking me out here on YouTube for, I'd say, at least the last 3 to 3.5 years. It's a very interesting story. Now, there's a group of people out here that is a part of a drama sphere group I used to be a part of that I'm no longer a part of. They actually know this story, but they're still uncertain with some of the elements of the story, which I'm going to clear that up here tonight. And if by the end of the night, these people and other people don't believe this person is who I know he is, and who I assume you folks, know he is, then I don't know what to tell you. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. So, now it's interesting to me, and I'm just going to mention this, well, no, I'm not going to mention that. It's not that big of a deal. I was thinking about mentioning something else, but I'm going to hold off on that for a little while and maybe mention that another time. But Mutt, thank you for moderating the chat. Please keep an eye on the chat. I do expect to get trolled pretty heavily here tonight. So I want to share a story regarding one of the most obsessed people I've ever dealt with. I think this person has OCD. I'm not trying to be rude by saying this. I'm just stating the facts. I've never met any one particular person in my life that has become so obsessed with me to the point of where they make it their life's purpose to come after me out here on YouTube each and every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The story goes back to about 3.5 years when I used to run a former YouTube channel called Coach Eli, Uncompromising Business and Personal Relationship Coaching. And when I started live streaming about 6 months after I started that channel, I got involved with a group of people that I thought were going to be a decent group of people, but they ended up being the worst people to ever connect with. They were a part of a group called MGTOW, MGTOW, which stands for Men Going Their Own Way. Okay, so basically the purpose of MGTOW is, to give men a safe space to discuss their issues with, the modern day woman, modern day feminism, etc., and how to protect yourself from the modern day court system, which you may be dealing with should you get married to somebody and then you go through a divorce. If you have kids, how to deal with the custody system, what you're going to be up against, if, you do date or marry a woman in today's modern world and you go through divorce. So I thought it was a great group, but I didn't realize there were a bunch of very immature, insecure, and very emotionally unstable men and very obsessive and compulsive men that have been through so much in life, probably primarily with women, that now they're projecting their insecurities out to other people like myself that still, believe that, dating and marriage is possible. That's what I was scrutinized for in that community. And I was just trying to help people. I was just trying to uplift people. That's all I was trying to do. So when I started live streaming, on my former channel. Okay, this is going back a little over 3 years ago. I used to get trolled by this troll by the name of Trim Hits. And Trim Hits would come into my chats, and he would say things like, Coach Eli has his butt cheeks spread wide open or wide apart or something like that, right? And he would say little funny jokes like that. It was like a light trolling type of thing, and he would say that to everyone. And everybody liked Trim because he was funny, and he didn't really cause that many issues at that point. Lo and behold, I didn't know who he was back then, but now I do. I'll get to that in just a little bit. And those of you that are here for the first time, this is a story that's just going to blow your freaking mind to show you how far I've come and where I'm at today regarding this situation. Okay? But what ended up happening was after a little while, let's say this was about a year and a half later, what ended up happening was I went through a breakup during that time. My ex-girlfriend used to do some shows with me on my channel and some videos with me on my channel. We ended up splitting up. I ended up shutting down my former channel. And then 3 months later, I came back and started this channel. And I started this channel it's almost been 2 years. Not quite, but it's almost been 2 years that I've been running this channel. So if we fast forward a year later, I came back onto the scene. And some people, reconnected with me. And then I'd say about almost a year after that, some other people were getting heavily trolled by the same troll that goes by the name of Trim Hits. And so they did some digging on Trim Hits because Trim Hits has been anonymous. He's been an anonymous troll, and he's been creating a lot of havoc, so he doesn't want people to know who he is. He had never shown his face, and we had never heard his voice. Well, like I said, this was about a year after I started my channel. One other YouTuber, I don't know if I'd call her a YouTuber, but she does create some videos every now and then, but she was a part of this community I was involved with when I first came back to start this channel. She was actually getting harassed and attacked by this guy, so she looked into him. What she did was she took his email and did an email search, and it came up with, and I'm not going to mention the name because I don't want to create a privacy concern here, but it came up with the name of this doctor from Florida. And then she did some further research on the guy and found out that this doctor from Florida has been accused of a federal crime. The federal crime he has been accused of is prescription fraud and insurance fraud. Basically, what he did was he stole another doctor's prescription pad. He filled out a bunch of prescriptions for a drug that he was addicted to so he can keep getting that drug. And then instead of paying cash for those prescriptions, he used somebody else's insurance information to pay for those fake prescriptions. Wow. And then we all found out through this lady that found out this information that this guy is up for 24 years. He's on the hook for 24 years in a federal penitentiary. Well, what ended up happening? Okay, so basically, this was the end of last year, 2019, beginning of 2020. It was found that this guy had pleaded guilty, and he had a sentencing date. And at his first sentencing date, his attorneys asked for an extension, and it was granted. And then, we found out he had another sentencing date. And then his attorneys once again asked for an extension. It was granted. He got, I believe, about 4 extensions until the judge said, this was a couple months ago or a month and a half ago or so, the judge said no more extensions. At the point where the judge said no more extensions, they actually allowed this doctor, who we now know is Trim Hits, because of what this lady found out by doing an email search and it leading to his background. We now know that this doctor changed his plea from innocent. So sorry, from guilty to innocent. And so, some of us behind the scenes that have been attacked by this person looked further into it. We contacted the courthouse and we got the information that, basically what happens now is that everything starts over. He's a free man under federal watch. And they are going to set up a new trial for him, but that trial probably will not start until late 2020 or early 2021. Now, so we know who this guy is now. Now that this guy's been exposed, he used to be a part of my channel. He ended up being a part of my channel. This guy by the name of Ronaldo came on my channel. It was, I think it was late 2019 or early 2020. And he came on my channel because he knew I had some issues with some other people trolling me within this drama sphere community that he didn't like as well. And I remember there was one time where he wanted to actually come on one of my shows. He wanted to actually come on the show. And I'm like, dude, I don't know you. I need to have a private conversation with you off the air before I bring you on the air, right? So I ended up having a conversation with this guy while I was on one of my walks earlier on this year. And I was talking with him, and he actually seemed like a pretty decent guy. I guess when he wants to be a decent guy, he can be a decent guy, right? Okay. So I ended up bringing him on one of my shows, actually a couple of my shows. And what ended up happening was after he was on one of my shows, there were some other people that were still getting attacked by Trim Hits. And they started to put two and two together after they heard his voice on one of my shows, because they had a voice of him. They had a voice of this doctor guy somewhere else. They started to analyze the voices, and it was an identical match. So at that point, other people that were getting attacked by this supposed Trim Hits troll were now putting two and two together and saying that not only is Trim Hits this doctor guy that's, on federal watch for committing a federal crime in the state of Florida, but this Ronaldo guy is also Trim and also the doctor. They are all three the same person. And I'm like, wow, this is unfreaking believable. So I ended up removing, the guy was a moderator on my channel. I ended up removing his mod wrench. And then when he went crazy on me, I ended up banning him. The moment I banned this guy, he became obsessed at attacking me in ways unlike anything that you've seen. He's done so many things to try to defame my character, harass me, stalk me. He's come after my family. He's come after my former business when I used to be an insurance broker, an independent contractor for my former insurance broker I used to work for. He's come after my Facebook friends. I mean, he's basically stalked, harassed, and defamed my character in the most illegal ways possible. And the funny thing is, it's not funny, but I'll say it's funny. He created videos on all of these aspects. He created videos on all of these aspects. And I've downloaded all those videos, even though those videos are no longer available. I'll get to that in just a little bit. This guy is so full of himself, and he's so narcissistic, and he's so obsessive compulsive that not only is he committing these crimes to defame my character, harass me, and stalk me, and he's made many death threats to me, he's put them publicly in video format with his voice, and I have those all downloaded. I mean, seriously, man. Seriously, dude. So now where are we at? There's so much to this story. So I was like, okay, yeah, this makes sense to me. This Ronaldo guy, this Trim Hits guy, they're both the doctor. We found out who the infamous Trim Hits is. Because we found that out, when you find out who a troll is, that's dependent on their anonymity to do what they do, they do whatever it takes to take you down before you take them down, right? And when you don't let off the gas to try to take the troll down, the troll comes at you harder, right? And that's what this guy's been doing to me. Now, let me tell you something, Doc. It's not working. Nothing you're doing is working, and I'm not afraid of you. And let me tell you something, that I'm not going to give up on whatever it is that I have to do to bring you to justice. I'm just letting you know that. And you already know what I've said in the past. I have been talking with, the federal officer that's in charge of you before you go to trial. I have submitted a thumb drive with all these videos, and that's all in the works. That's all in the works. And that's all you need to know as of this point. So, now, what made it definitive that Ronaldo and Trim are both the doctor? Well, what made it definitive that Trim Hits is the doctor was the email that was used to search what background, what name would come up under a background. So what ties in Ronaldo to Trim, right? Well, there used to be a guy on my channel who I still think is not a bad guy to this day. ODN, I've been watching some of your videos lately, and I get it. And, the funny thing is, a lot of these people used to talk smack about me. They still talk a little smack about me, but, it's not as bad as it used to be because I've been keeping my mouth shut. I've just been handling things behind the scenes. But ODN, Old Dirty Ninja, is his channel name. He just goes by ODN. I'm not going to use his real name, but most of you know who he is that have been following this story. He used to be a moderator on my channel. He befriended Ronaldo, right? And both ODN and Ronaldo have PlayStation 4. And on PlayStation 4, you can connect, through the internet and play games together through the internet. But in order to do that, you need to have the email of the person you want to connect with. So ODN asked Ronaldo, what is your email? When ODN put in the email of Ronaldo, it came back to the Puffacush Joker YouTube channel. Now, ODN, in case you're watching, and Doctor, in case you're watching, I have that video that ODN did showing the proof that the email you gave him to connect with on PlayStation 4 was connected to the Puffacush Joker channel. Now, remember, at that point, Ronaldo, nobody knew that Ronaldo was also the person running the Puffacush Joker channel. The Puffacush Joker channel stemmed back to 2017, back to these MGTOW days where Trim Hits was more Trim Hits. So the Puffacush Joker channel was an alternate channel for Trim Hits. The moment ODN called me that day and told me, what is this Puffacush Joker channel, dude? Oh, I'll tell you who it is. It's Trim Hits. So you're telling me that Ronaldo gave you an email to connect with you on PlayStation 4 that leads to the Puffacush Joker channel. But he's saying, I'm not Trim Hits and I'm not the doctor. Come on, man. Like you say, Doc, come on, dog. Come on, dog. Right? Come on, man. Right then and there. That was definitive proof enough for me, but that wasn't enough. Apparently, on a stream I did earlier on this year, this was around, I think it was around March or so. I can't remember. It was like 4 or 5 months ago. Somehow, something I said, it wasn't intended to trigger this doctor guy or Ronaldo. He likes to go by Ronaldo out here. I said, dude, if you're not the doctor, why don't you come on camera and show your face? So guess what? He got triggered. He showed his face on camera, but he was wearing a COVID mask, and he was wearing this wig with dreadlocks, trying to play it off like he's some black guy that lives in Detroit, Michigan, which we know that's not the truth, Doc. So what happened when he did that video? We all downloaded it. Some other people that I'm no longer associated with took that video and took an actual picture of this doctor in Florida that's under federal watch for a federal crime he committed, and superimposed the pictures, and it was an exact match. At that point, it was definitive 100% that Ronaldo, Trim Hits, and the doctor are all the same person. I still stand tall with that to this day. But I'm going to more so further prove it here tonight because the topic is dealing with obsessive and compulsive people on YouTube and in real life. This guy has been very obsessed with me. He even says it on his live streams. I haven't talked about the guy for several weeks. Now, tonight I'm using him for example purposes because I wanted to do this topic and give an example. But even when I don't talk about this guy and ignore him for weeks at a time, right? The guy keeps coming at me. He's so obsessed. He has nothing better to do with his life. Why? Because he ruined his life. This guy was born with a golden spoon. This guy got a big inheritance from his family. He's also made very good money being a medical doctor for many, many years. He had a beautiful wife and 2 beautiful kids. And after he was popped for this crime, his wife divorced him, probably took half of his money, which he deserved that, and she got the kids. There's no way in hell this guy has even visitation rights to his kids behaving the way he behaves and what he does. So because he lost it all, why did he lose it all? Because having it all wasn't good enough for him. He wanted more, so he started doing all these drugs, like oxycodone and other drugs like that, right? And he got addicted to them. And what happened? It altered his state of mind to the point of where his wife had enough. And when he got popped, his wife had enough, right? And that triggered him. That's why he joined that MGTOW community over 3 years ago. Because it was a place for him to, just go and attack and harass people and project his insecurities of the mistakes he made upon himself. That's the truth of the matter, Doc. And if you say I'm not qualified to be a life coach, you just can't hear the truth then. I don't care if you think I'm qualified or not, because let me tell you something, Doc. Your opinion of me doesn't matter. Your opinion of me flat out doesn't matter at all. 0. We are at 26 minutes right now. And folks, because this story is pretty intense, I might end up taking a break here in about 3 to 5 minutes and then come back and finish the story about this because it takes so much out of me. Okay? Let me see. Muttnuts World says, the guy who hit them was in a Jeep. He was drunk. Do you know what happened to the guy that was in the Jeep? Did he survive or what happened to him? So anyway, give me 1 second here. I got to check one thing real quick. Okay. All right, we're good. Okay. So now we're at the point of where we've definitively proved that Trim Hits, Ronaldo, and the doctor are the same person. And it got to the point of where, because I wouldn't back off, I stood my ground and stood to my guns. When this guy was trying to say, I'm not the doctor, why don't you come on a panel with me and talk with me? Well, I did go on a panel with him on another lady's channel. I'm not going to mention her name. And this guy completely just went crazy on me. I was trying to have a civil conversation with him. Of course, when he came on, I said, "What's up, Doc?" Kind of like, what Bugs Bunny used to say, "What's up, Doc?" Right? And it triggered the heck out of him. If you're not the doctor, then why does it trigger you when I say, "What's up, Doc?" Why does it trigger you that I know you're the doctor? If you were not the doctor, then, you would basically not be triggered by that, and you would do whatever you could to prove that you're not the doctor. But you haven't done that, right? And you didn't do that when you came on camera with your dreads and with your COVID mask. But what ended up happening was you showed enough of your face, your eyebrows, and your nose and your cheeks to the point of where it was matched up, superimposing a picture of who you really are. A Caucasian man. A redhead Caucasian man. So now this guy keeps coming at me. He keeps coming at me. He started coming at me, and then he amped up his game because he couldn't scare me off. He's been trying to scare me off to get me to go away before I take him down legally, right? That's what you're trying to do, Doc. You're trying to scare me away before you're taken down legally. That's what you're trying to do. But it's not working. And over the last 2 to 3 months, he really stepped up his game. This guy has attacked every single person that's come on my channel. What he will do is he'll watch all of my streams and look at all the comments in my videos, and then go to those people's channels and leave them hateful, threatening messages, sharing links to carefully crafted videos out of context, trying to paint me as a crazy, to defame my character. So he's been coming after my audience to destroy my audience. That's stalking and harassment right there. And getting in the way of my free enterprise. You're breaking the law there, Doc, and you know it. On top of that, he's reached out to my the former broker that I used to be an independent contractor for, selling insurance. He's harassed them. He wrote a fake article. He wrote a fake review on them. He's reached out to my mother, my brother, my aunt. He's cloned my aunt's name, my mother's name, my brother's name on many accounts. He's reached out to people on my Facebook from my former business community when I used to run in-person business networking events, in the past, which is how I built my former insurance business. Okay. He's written several derogatory reviews about me on thedirty.com and on Google sites. There's so much that this guy has done. And let me tell you something, Doc. I am in progress of legally getting all that removed and taken down. My attorney is working on that. And trust me, I'm sure you've seen a lot of your content put out on me that was made in defamatory ways. I'm sure you've seen it getting removed very, very rapidly. And if you don't believe that I have private investigators watching your every move and I have an attorney on this, and no, sir, my attorney is not who you think it is. You can sit there and try to spin every narrative. No, you've tried to paint all these stories, on who you think my attorney is. You have no idea. One day you may find out because look, Doc, once you're taken down for your cyber crimes as a cyber terrorist, then we're going to be looking at civil action, restitution, sir. So that's what's going to happen. Let me read the chat for a second here. He was treated and released to the cops. Well, yeah, he should go to jail for a long time for driving under the influence and almost killing 2 innocent people. Nuts World says, I have OCD, but my OCD is nothing like that. Mine is triggered when something is out of place in my room or office and when I make a typo. No, your OCD, Mutt, is nowhere nearly at the level of the doctors. You can agree with that. And you just said that. And I agree with you, Mutt. But you're like a tame little puppy compared to the doctor. The doctor is like a lion and a tiger or a bear. Guy just doesn't go away because he's obsessed. He has OCD, Obsessive Compulsive disorder. Wow. So, anyway, so that's what this guy has done. Because he ruined his life, and he's on federal watch, and he's probably going to get popped for his prescription fraud and insurance fraud. In the meantime, while he's still a free man under federal watch, he's able to sit in his nice home in Pensacola, Florida, and troll the internet all day under a VPN, and he thinks that he's not gonna pay for his mistakes. One day, Doc, karma is gonna get you. And let me tell you, Doc, that day is coming a lot sooner than you think. And if you want to sit here and call me a bald whatever, I'm not going to say it. I don't want to get demonetized. But if you want to call me every bald joke in the book, I could care less. I love my baldness, and I think bald is beautiful. And it doesn't matter to me, dude. It really doesn't matter to me. Give me just 1 second here. You get some text messages in the middle of the show that are urgent, and people worry about you. And if you don't respond right away, they keep on texting you. Hang on. Hang on. All right. All right, we're good. Let me see where we're at right now. We are at 35 minutes. Okay, let me do one more part of the story here, and then I'll come back after a break and finish the rest of it. So, and when I get back, for those of you out there, now, if you're new here, this story is just going to blow your mind away. But if you've been a part of this Dramasphere community that's been trying to figure out, if Ronaldo and Trim are both the doctor. See, the funny thing is, from what I've heard, because I don't pay too much attention to this Dramasphere anymore, but I have friends that tell me these things, right, behind the scenes, right? From what I've heard, most of everyone believes that Trim Hits is the doctor, but they think that Ronaldo is a different person. I'm going to more so prove to you tonight with something that the doctor, aka Dr. Let's call him Dr. Ronaldo, right? Because that's not the real doctor's name. Something that Ronaldo did today that will definitively prove also how obsessed this guy is with me. And it proves that he is also Trim Hits and the doctor. Because this goes back to a year and a half before Ronaldo even existed, before the Ronaldo name was even created and appeared on the scene in, I'd say, probably the middle to late of 2019 last year. This happened before that time. I'm going to prove it to you. And those of you that follow Ronaldo probably already know what I'm talking about. So you're going to want to stick around for this. I'm not here to mess around. I'm not here to play any games. I'm not here to attack anyone. And I'm not here to cause any issues. I want no issues with anyone. I'm here to state the facts and to prove the truth. And by the way, to those other people on the other side, I'm not going to mention their names, to those other people, primarily the two people, especially the one lady that found out who the real doctor is by doing the email search, for you and your boyfriend per se, your online boyfriend per se, to now be catering to the doctor because you made some supposed deal. It's pretty pathetic because let me tell you something. You both know he's the doctor. You also know that because now he changed his plea from guilty to innocent, and he's going to be a free man for a while. You're like, well, why don't we appease him for now? Because we don't want to get attacked by him while he's still a free man. So you basically threw away all of your hard work for the entire year to figure out who he is. And now you back off like sissies, right? Yeah. Well, I got to say this. Thank you to the both of you, especially you, to this lady who I know you don't like me, but thank you for figuring out who this guy is because it's helped me out and what I need to do to protect myself from him and to get justice. So thank you. Thank you so much for that. Okay. But I know both you, the lady that actually figured out who this guy is, and your boyfriend. We're not going to mention his name. He's the guy that lives in Canada. Everyone's favorite Canadian YouTuber, right? And Canadian YouTuber, listen, dude, I'm not buying anything that you're trying to sell. And to be honest with you, dude, I know you know the truth. You're not fooling me. You're not fooling anyone else. You're trying to appease the doctor from not attack you and to not attack your girlfriend. But see, here's the thing, Canadian YouTuber, okay? And you wanna respond and react to this? Go right ahead. Go right ahead. Here's the thing, dude. What kind of a man kowtows in this situation. You're kowtowing to this internet troll, the most dangerous internet terrorist ever. You're kowtowing just because you don't want the guy coming at you or your girlfriend. You want some peace and quiet because he's going to be a free man now that he's changed his plea from guilty to innocent, and he's going to be a free man until his trial, late this year or early next year. Come on, dude. Do you stand up for what you believe in? It's just ridiculous, dude. Despite what you've ever thought about me, Canadian YouTuber, despite the fact that you've always kind of disrespected me for the most part, and you said you felt sorry for me, I had respect for you up until the point where you started to kowtow to the doctor just because you didn't want to deal with this trolling anymore. Well, you know what? I've been dealing with this trolling. And you want to know something? I myself solo-handedly have been bringing this guy to justice. And I'm going to share more about that when I get back. There's more to this story that's going to prove that Ronaldo and Trim are both the doctor. And if you folks don't want to see that, that's on you. But I will tell you, one of these days, there's going to be no way you're not going to be able to believe it. Tonight, maybe you'll believe what I say, maybe you won't. It'll make sense. If you look at the timeline, it'll make sense. Based on what he did, he keeps making mistakes. You see, Doc, you keep making mistakes that most people won't realize or recognize. But I recognize it because I've lived all this. And I'm going to paint the picture of exactly what happened. I'm going to do that when I get back from the break. There's more to come, probably another 20 or 30 minutes when I get back from the break. So let me do this here. Let me cue up some royalty-free YouTube music. Whew. Oh, I know what I'm going to play when I get back. All right. What do I want to play here? Let me see here. Oh, I know what I want to play. That's one. That's two. Let me see here. I need just one more. All right. I think I got it almost all queued up, that is. All right, folks, we are all set to go. Stick around. There's more coming. Tonight, we're discussing dealing with obsessive and compulsive people on YouTube and in real life. And I'm sharing a story unlike anything I've ever heard or dealt with before. I'm dealing with it personally and hope you never have to deal with this. If you've dealt with anything remotely close to this, folks, just stick around. There's more to it. All right. So stick around. We'll be right back. I feel real good. I feel real good. Wait till you hear the next song. It's going to be a blast from the past. We're almost back. Here we go. Remember this one? Oh my God! It's a blast from the past. Back in the days of my former channel when I used to run the show, Coach Eli Live. The Coach Eli Live theme song. I got to bring this one back. Oh my God! Yeah! Yeah! Let's go! Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Oh my! Oh my. Woo-wee. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli live here on YouTube. It is 11:31 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 8:31 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time here in my neck of the woods in the beautiful, glorious San Francisco Bay Area where I live, the very smoky San Francisco Bay Area, because the wind has shifted all the smoke into my area here in San Mateo County where I live. And I gotta tell you, when I got up this morning and all day, it felt like it was nighttime. I had to turn on my lights. I couldn't even open up my shades to get some natural light in because it's that smoky. It's been like a very gloomy, it's worse than a gloomy overcast day. So yeah, that's what it's been kind of like around here in my neck of the woods lately. I just can't wait for, these fires to be put out. They say by tomorrow the wind's gonna push the smoke away, so we'll get some natural sunlight back in. But anyway, that is that. By the way, in case you're wondering the name of this song, it's Double Helix by Ethan Mixell from the YouTube audio library. It is safe and free to use from demonetization and copyright infringement. And no attribution required, but I just gave you attribution. Ethan Mixell's Double Helix. All right, we are back. Let's get back to this because I want to wrap up this show as soon as possible. Okay, so let me just get all situated and get my wire all situated properly here. No, I'm not grabbing, my breasts while I'm on the air. It's just my, I have to adjust my wire from my microphone. I like to hide it. A lot of people like to, wear their headsets and have that wire, wire running down, your shirt, so people see it. But I think it's unprofessional. I think that look is unprofessional. Maybe it's cool for some people. I mean, to each its own. But maybe one day I'll get a wireless headset and I'll just, fix everything. But anyway. So, all right. So let's continue here with the story. Let me just check out the chat real quick and see what's going on. All right. Mutt Nuts World says, welcome back. Mutt, how are you doing tonight? Are you getting some rest? Are you enjoying the show so far? Let me know in the chat. All right. So, and to the person behind the scenes that sent the dancing emojis, thank you so much. Just know I'm proud of you. I recognize you. I'm not going to mention your name, but I'm really happy that you're still part of the Coach Eli clan. And, I think the doctor isn't too happy about that, but that's okay. It's not all about what the doctor wants. It's what each individual person wants to do. They're not going to be controlled by some, incompetent psychopath that has major OCD. They're not going to be impacted by that. We all are our own entities, right? So anyway. All right. So to leave off where I left off. So like I said, Because of all of this, because I know who this guy is, this guy's been trying to take me down before I take him down. It's become like a cat and mouse game, and he knows it. And Doc, I know you're watching me. I know you're obsessed and you're watching, right? You make fun of my tongue. You want to cut off my tongue. You make threats to me. You want me to jump off the Golden Gate Bridge. You want me to get hit by a car or a bus or whatever, right? I mean, listen, dude. I mean, you can continue to make all those threats, and every time you make those threats, I'm just going to basically send those videos over to the federal agent in charge of you before you go to trial at the federal building right across the federal courthouse in Pensacola, Florida. So that's okay, Doc. Like, here's the funny thing, Doc. I'm not trying to trigger you. I'm just using you as an example. I'm not even mentioning your name. And I'm also trying to get everyone else to understand what's really going on. But see, the funny thing is, Doc, you get triggered by this. And when you get triggered, you make a lot of mistakes. And every time you make a mistake, Doc, I'm right there gathering it for evidence. And I'm not trying to incite you to do this. The thing is, you just react on your own. Like, you have like no control, Doc. You lack a lot of emotional self-control. You lack self-control, period. You can't contain your own, you know what, I won't say it, but you know what I'm talking about. But that's on you. You want to get triggered, you get triggered. I'm not trying to trigger you. I'm just stating the facts, and that's that. But if you want to call me baloney tongue, you know, if you want to, you know, create your bald, you know, phrases, oh, that bald loser, whatever, it doesn't matter, dude. They're just words. They don't affect me. And by the way, Doc, how do you like the fact that you've lost nearly 80% of your audience? You still have about 9 or 10 people watching you. But I guess ever since all your channels got shut down for violating my copyright, which we'll get to that in a second, you lost a lot of traction, and now you're desperately going around trying to get anyone on your side that you can, Doc. Doc, you don't think I know your game? See, Doc, this is the thing. You picked a fight with somebody you can't beat. You met your match, right? Everyone else, you've been able to successfully run off and scare them away, but not me, Doc. Not me, Doc. I'm not letting off the gas, and neither are you. But that's fine. The more you don't let off the gas, Doc, the more you incriminate yourself, Doc. And then you're saying that I'm a criminal? What have I done, Doc? What have I done? You see, Doc, you keep referring back to this FOIA call, right? You keep referring back to this FOIA call, saying I had some involvement in this call, you know, to do a wellness check on the supposed doctor, which you say is not you, but somehow you know that this happened, right? Because, you know, another thing you said before, Doc, is that, you know, you are Ronaldo, right? And you know Trim, and Trim knows the doctor. No, you're all the same person, Doc. Come on, Doc. Got a long day tomorrow and have lots of videos to film and edited. Got to keep pushing on, says Mutt. Excellent, Mutt. Glad to hear you're pushing forward. I'm proud of you. Mutt Nuts World furthermore says, what's the old saying that, let me see here. Give me a second. What's the old saying that we grew up with sticks and stones may break your bones, but words can never hurt you. And then I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you. That is right. All right. So, all right. Now, what's happened recently? Let me tell you what's happened recently over the last week or two. Fast forward to the recent times. I haven't said a word about this guy. I've been ignoring everyone. I've been doing my own thing, but he continues to come at me each and every day. He continues to come at me each and every day. And it doesn't bother me. I just use it for more evidence, right? So what did I do? What did I start doing? I scoured the entire YouTube library of anyone that's created any videos on me. And anyone that has used my content beyond a reasonable level of fair use. If you use my content in fair use, nothing I can do about that. But if you use a long portion of my content and try to claim it's fair use, it's not. I went and found every piece of content that I've been infringed upon, and I flagged it for copyright. Over the last, I'd say about 10 or 11 days, I have filed over 40 DMCA copyright takedown notices, and YouTube has approved every one because it was copyright infringement. What ended up happening? Well, let's see. Before this even started happening, I had filed many more copyright infringements on the doctor, on his many various channels where he's stolen my content. But, excuse me, let me just check something in the chat here real quick. That's funny. Okay. Well, I'm not even going to answer that. They know exactly what's going on. Mr. and Mrs. Shangy, if that's even you or if that's a doctor on a sock, you know what's going on, and you're not going to get any more information out of me because there's nothing more to share anyway. You see, you folks think you can fool me into trying to get information that you think I'm hiding. And no, I'm not hiding anything. The truth of the matter is everyone has gone away from me. I've got absolutely no support from anyone going toe-to-toe to protect myself from what this guy's done to me. I'm handling this on my own. I'm solo-handedly taking care of this. Everything I've done has come from me. I no longer work my day job. I've been focusing on cleaning this up so I can actually run a great channel and a great business. Now, what happened a little over a month ago? Well, the Ronaldo channel, which was the doctor's main channel of attacking me with over 150 videos attacking me, which I've downloaded them all, I have them all backed up, was taken down for violating my copyright. Not 3 times, but 4 times. Because I had 3 copyright strikes on him for violating my copyright, and they didn't take down his channel. Then there was a 4th one, and it took down his channel. What happened then? Or what happened? He went to his next biggest channel, which was the Puffacus Joker channel. So now, when he started broadcasting on Puffacus Joker, we now know that Ronaldo is the one that owns the Puffacus Joker channel. Now, remember the story I shared a half an hour ago or so before I went on the break, right? I shared that when ODN was playing PlayStation with Ronaldo over the internet, he needed Ronaldo's email to connect with him. When Ronaldo sent him his email, basically it led back to Puffacus Joker channel. Now, if anyone is going to deny that Puffacus Joker isn't Ronaldo's channel, then I don't know where you've been, because once the Ronaldo channel was taken down for violating my copyright 4 times, he went over to Puffacus Joker and started doing the same thing. What happened? He was infringing my copyright again. Oh yeah, he basically, he had videos, he had a video on me from my former channel that was over 2 years old, where I had my meltdown after my breakup with my ex Dana. Right? And he didn't think I could flag that for copyright. Well, let me mention something to you, Doc. I have that video on my hard drive. That video is my face. And let me tell you, all it took to get it down was to send YouTube a copy of my driver's license and some other information. And I said, hey, this is the channel. I used to run the channel on this channel from this email. This is a real professional email, Coach Eli at coacheli@melas.com. And they took it down. And after he violated my copyright 3 times on Puffacus Joker, they took that channel down. What happened after that? Let me tell you how obsessed this guy is, how obsessed he is. He took Jamie Lycan Theory channel's Coach Eli's Greatest Hits video, made his own version of it, right? Which had a lot of my content on it infringing on my copyright, right? And he re-uploaded 2 different versions of that. One of the versions he uploaded like about 22 times. The other one was like 15 times. So this guy got so triggered, he re-uploaded these videos like around 40 times. in like one day, spent all day doing it. And you know what he did? He changed the titles and he put them on different channels because he was trying to SEO defame me. What is SEO defamation? Search engine optimization defamation. He put carefully crafted titles. Coach Eli, Elias, Melas, stay away from his channel, this and that. He did that 40 times, right? So guess what I did? I flagged all of them for copyright. But before I flagged them for copyright, I took screenshots of every single one of those titles as evidence to turn into the feds for what this guy is doing. Then I went and I flagged them all for copyright, and boom, they came down. Not only did they come down, okay, many of his channels where those videos were on had other videos of mine that he infringed on. And I took many of those channels down for copyright infringement. And because he had 3 strikes on some of those channels were shut down. But wait, there's more. Because he had many other accounts linked to the same email as some of those channels that were shut down for getting 3 copyright strikes, those other associated channels were removed as well. Now, I'm not here to attack anyone or harm anyone. I'm here to state what this guy's done to me. The amount of harassment, stalking, and defamation of character this guy has done. And I have all of that proof, and all of that proof has been sent to the federal agent in charge of you, sir. And let me tell you, sir, there's a lot more coming. But we're going to leave it at that. There's a lot more coming. So if you look around now, if you look around all over YouTube, there are still some videos out there of me. And I'm going to handle those differently. There'll be more information on that coming soon. I'm not going to mention that here tonight, but pretty soon I will be doing another update to this situation. And I will make you folks aware of how I'm going to be handling the other videos from certain other creators that have this same hateful content and defamatory content regarding myself. So that is that. Let's see. Now, there's one more thing I'm going to mention, which this is going to prove without a shadow of a doubt that Ronaldo is Trim and Trim is the doctor. They're all the doctor. So today on the latest channel of Ronaldo, we're just going to call it the Danius channel. We're not going to say the word after that because he gets off on that, right? He gets off on that, the Danius L channel, right? I'm sure you all want to be entertained. You want to hear it come out of my mouth, but I'm not going to say it. You know what I'm saying? On his Danius channel, he put out a video. He put out a video that I did as a reaction video to a big YouTuber by the name of the Dolan Twins. And it was a video where they were collaborating with another big YouTuber named Jeffree Star. I did a reaction video on my channel, on this channel here, a little over a year and a half ago. That video was released on my channel as a pre-recorded video, not a live stream, on February 20th, 2019. February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So about a year and 8 months ago. So we're nearing on almost 2 years, a year and 8 months, a little over a year and a half ago, right? What happened? When I released that video, overnight, one of the fans of the Dolan Twins wrote a message, wrote a comment on me, and wasn't happy with my video. And they said, you know what, this is just not fair to them. And I wasn't really attacking them or anything, but, I said some things that maybe I wasn't too proud of. It wasn't guideline breaking or anything like that. But you know what? After I got that comment from the fan of the Dolan Twins, I was like, you know what? This is not me. I'm just going to put this video to private, and it's just not ever going to see the light of day again. When I got the next morning on February 21st, 2019, I put that video to private. First, I responded to the comment and made sure that the other person acknowledged it, and they did, and then I put it to private. That video has been sitting on my channel on private for the last year and 8 months. Now, Ronaldo, let's just call you Ronaldo because that's what you want to be referred to as, even though we know you're the doctor. That video was literally only up for about 24 hours or less. What that's telling me, Ronaldo, is that you downloaded that video on February 20th, 2019, last year. And you've downloaded a lot of my videos that you've put away in some digital archive or some external hard drive. I mean, listen, dude, I've got 3 external hard drives, a 3 terabyte, 5 terabyte, and 8 terabyte. I have 16 terabytes of external hard drive space and a 2 terabyte SSD solid state drive in my laptop. So let me tell you something. I've got storage to download everything. I can download anything. I've got fiber too, so I can download it fast. Right? That's how I get all your videos fast, right? I told you folks, when I got fiber last year, it was going to make all the difference, right? But what's the point of this, right? He downloaded this in February. He downloaded February 20th, 2019. No one else had a copy of that video. No one cared about that video. No one else has talked about that video ever. That video, as far as I am concerned, and anyone else is concerned, was dead, was forgotten, because it went to private literally 24 hours or less after it was released. So the guy that claims to be Ronaldo, some guy in Michigan, some African-American gentleman in Michigan, okay, somehow resurrected this video and made clips of it on his channel today, his Dania's channel. You see, Ronaldo, let's just call you Ronaldo, Doc. You didn't come on the scene as Ronaldo until later on in 2019. The first appearance you made on my channel as Ronaldo was like in the middle towards the end of 2019, like June or July, which was about 4 months after you downloaded this video, before you even had created the Ronaldo name and came on the scene as Ronaldo. See, Ronaldo, doctor, you've been trolling me as Trim Hits. And then you created the extra persona, the additional persona of Ronaldo to come in and further your trolling, right? Now, I honestly feel initially that you really weren't going to come at me at this level. You were a part of my channel because the Jamie Liken Theory channel, you've been going after them, and I haven't been too happy with him either. So we had a common interest, right? But what happened when I found out who you really are and I removed you from my channel? You flipped, right? Just like you flip on everyone that finds out the truth about you, and then you attack them, right? As well, right? So to ask you, Ronaldo, Dr. Trim, that video on your channel, like, see, here's the thing, Ronaldo, Doc, that video is sitting on private on my Agrippa on Live channel. I did not infringe copyright. It is fair use. I was doing commentary on it. But it is private. And it'll never see the light of day again. But you know why it's sitting on my Agrippa on Live channel on private? Because that means I can strike it down for copyright. You may be asking, Doc, why have I not flagged you down for copyright yet when I flagged you down pretty much for everything else? You want to know why? Because I want you to keep that video up. Because you know what that video does? It definitively proves who you are. If you're Ronaldo and didn't know about me until the middle of 2019 or shortly after that, and you even mentioned that when you first became a part of my channel as Ronaldo, then how in the world did you get a copy of that video that was only up for 24 hours and no one else has ever talked about it? What are you going to say? Well, you know, Trim downloaded it and Trim sent it to me, right? You are Trim! You're Trim Hits! And the doctor! That's why! You're the same person! And I'm not triggered. I'm feeling the passion and the heat. Because everyone else out here thinks that you're a different person. And you're not. And I'm going to prove it further in the weeks ahead. I've been battling this on my own. Doctor, let me tell you this. I have no help from anyone else. Everything that I've done to try to stop you legally has been on my own. I have no support from anyone. No one from this former drama sphere is supporting me at all. No one at all. Now, I'm not going to come out here and talk smack about anyone in this drama sphere. Are there a bunch of people I could talk smack about? Absolutely, but I'm a better person than that. But if you think for 1 second, Doc, that most people out there don't know who you really are, you're out of your damn mind. You see, there are people out there, the majority of people out there, Ronaldo, believe that Trim Hits is the doctor, right? But they say that you, Ronaldo, are a different person. Come on, folks, what's it going to take? Are you all so afraid of this guy because he's come at me so hard, tried to ruin my life with all the defamation, the harassment, and stalking he's done, that you're not going to stand up for yourselves? Are you going to kowtow to this guy because you love the drama and you have nothing better to do? I mean, seriously, folks, I'm not here to hurt or harm anyone. I never have been. But this is ridiculous. This guy has gone way above and beyond the line. This guy has not only crossed the line, this guy has illegally harassed and attacked me and defamed me, my friends, my family. He's taken it into real life. Oh, what I was going to mention earlier, Doc, is this regarding that FOIA call that you said, right? Okay. I had nothing to do with that. I had nothing to do with that, dude. Okay. And any private conversation I had with people regarding about how to figure out who you are. You see, I had a private conversation with some people that I used to be associated with back then regarding what to do to handle you because you were defaming my character. I needed to find out who you are because you're defaming my character and harassing me and attacking me and my friends and family. But as far as the actual call goes, I have no idea what happened regarding that. I had nothing to do with that. And let me tell you something, Doc. If you are the actual doctor, Ronaldo, you're coming out here saying that you're not the doctor, but you have so much emotionally vested interest into this that you're that triggered, right? Which makes me more so lead to believe you're the doctor. But if you, Ronaldo, are not the doctor, which you are, and you feel the doctor is being harassed and attacked, then why don't you have the doctor, go and file to get the actual information about what happened on that call? And why don't you press charges? Why don't you take action? You know why? Because it would expose you as the doctor, Ronaldo, and Trim being the same person. Which is why, to all of you out there that are trying to find out information about that call, you're never going to get your information because the doctor is never going to do what is required of him to do to get you that information because it would expose himself. And then once he exposes himself as the doctor being Trim and Ronaldo all being the same person, then it's not going to matter for him anymore. Then the whole gig is up, right? And for those of you that wonder why I drink off the side when I'm live on the air, because I don't want to stick a can in front of my face so you can't see my face on the camera. I can drink like this, but I want you to see my face, so I drink like this. I can't believe how much people scrutinize people out here over the smallest, stupidest little things. Come on, we're grown-ass adults, for Christ's sake, right? This is what I've been dealing with, folks. This is the level of obsession this guy has for me. This guy has threatened my life. He has threatened my family's lives. He's threatened my friends' lives. He's threatened the lives of people that come on my channel. and I have proof of it. And it doesn't matter. Quite frankly, I don't care what anyone that's associated with him or believes him. I don't care what you think. All that matters is how this all ends, how this is all going to pan out. Let me tell you something, doctor. I'm just going to tell you this, and I'm going to wrap this up, get on out of here, and enjoy my night. It's not looking good for you, dude. It's not looking good for you. Because like you say to me, I'm going to wrap it up in the way you wrap it up. You keep saying, Eli, it's time to go. Doc, it's time for you to go. Your time's about to come. And I'm not making a threat here. I'm saying legally, your time is coming. When I say legally, I mean within the legal limits of the law. I'm not threatening you. I am promising you your time is coming legally sooner than you think. So be alert, be aware. But here's the thing. Every little thing you do from here on out, and that's what's been going on for the last several weeks, everything you've done is being forwarded over to the Fed building in Pensacola, Florida. Every little thing. So the more you come at me, the more you're building my own case. And when I have to sue you civilly for restitution down the road, guess what's going to happen at that point? I said all I had to say in here, folks. The topic tonight's been dealing with obsessive and compulsive people on YouTube and in real life. This was a combination of both. In real life, you're going to get people that are going to be obsessive and they're going to stalk you and harass you. And as much as I don't want to discredit, in-person stalking and harassment and obsessions compared to online, it is a lot easier to deal with people in person, because out here on YouTube, these people can make videos of you on hundreds of channels. And YouTube really doesn't care about it. You flag these videos for you flag them for community guidelines, like all these videos that the doctor's done. He's violated guidelines, right? You flag them for guideline violations and YouTube does nothing about it. So the only way you can get these videos out is through copyright infringement, which he is. He is actually infringing my copyright. If it wasn't infringement, YouTube wouldn't take it down. They would question me. If you folks can't see the truth, that's on you. I could care less. Go back and watch this video over and over again. Listen to the story and put two and two together. Go and watch that video on the Danius channel, on the doctor's channel, Ronaldo's channel, right? And don't worry, Ronaldo. I'm not gonna flag down that video, at least for a little while. I want that video to stay up for a little while. At one point, you never know. It's my option. Like I said, I've got that original video sitting on my Agrippa on Live channel on private, which means I have the copyright to it, and it's been on my channel since then, right? It's not public, it's private. I took it down because I wanted to be respectful to the fans of the Dolan twins and Jeffree Star. But yeah, I want you to keep it up. And you want to re-upload that video to 100 channels so people more so know the truth about you? Go for it, dude. But I will tell you, the day I'm ready to flag that son of a gun down for copyright and you upload it to all those channels, guess what happens when one of them gets 3 strikes? Any others associated with that same email will go down too. You pick the battle with somebody, dude, that's not going to let you win. It's not about me winning. It's about what's right. You're a sick man, dude. You're a sick man. You try to flip it on me and say I'm a sick man. See, you're projecting your own insecurities onto me, Doc. It's ridiculous, man. Why can't you folks see this? Are you folks that desperate for content All you have is drama content. So you have to appease certain people, even when you know that what you're agreeing to is wrong, such as the people that are saying we made a mistake and Ronaldo and Trim are not the doctor. Come on, dude. When I finally prove that, which I will, and I have, tonight's show should prove it. But if that doesn't prove it for you folks, there's more proof coming. When I finally definitively prove who this guy is, are you guys even going to acknowledge it, or is it not going to mean anything? We are at 1 hour and 28 minutes, and I'm going to wrap this up here, folks. I want to thank you all for being here tonight. If you have somebody that is stalking you, harassing you, is obsessed with you, and they just won't take your simple request of, please just leave me alone. You got options, folks. You got options. You know what those options are. I don't have to tell you. Don't just sit on it, because some people are so emotionally disturbed that if you don't take action on it and try to stop it, it's going to get worse. And it could get so bad that something harmful may happen to you. And I don't want to see that happen to you, folks. Muttnuts World's about to get out of here, so am I. Muttnuts World says, why? There it goes. Night all. We'll catch up later. Going to catch up on some much needed sleep. Good night, Mutt. Thank you for being here. All right, folks. Thank you to everyone that's been watching behind the scenes. Thank you to Muttnuts World for being here. Folks, I'll be back more than likely tomorrow with another stream or a video, and I will keep you folks in the loop of this story when anything new breaks. It may be, a week, 2 weeks, a month, I don't know. But all I'm going to say is this. I'm going to continue doing what I have to do to protect myself, from this harassment, stalking, abuse, and defamation of character. And there's more to come for other people outside of this gentleman that have defamed my character. I'm not done. I have the right to free enterprise without being harassed. There's a difference between freedom of speech and fair use and harassment and defamation. And if you folks don't understand the difference, then I'm going to legally force you to understand the difference. The law will force you and put you in your place. Thank you, everyone. Good night. I'm out.